y'all, I am making meat gravy tonight, or meat gravy is what I call this. It's an old recipe, and I'm sure I've probably shared it before, but if I have, it's been a right good while, so I thought I would share it again. If you missed it the first time, or maybe you're new to following my page, so you can see it, and I will turn it so you can see what I'm doing. I've got some tater tots in the air fryer, y'all, so I'm sorry it's loud, but I'll try to talk loud and talk over it. So meat gravy is typically, I'm going to share above this video the history of this meat gravy. It was typically made in the Depression era, and it originated actually in the armed forces. The military in 1910 had it in their cookbooks, and it has been in their cookbooks ever since. And it was called by a different name, which you can read about, because I'm not going to say it. So tonight, I'm not using chipped beef, which is typically what was used in this meat gravy. I am using sausage, and there are a lot of different things you can use. You can do hamburger, you can do chicken, you can do tuna, but I'm doing sausage. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is season this sausage with just a little bit of salt and pepper. This recipe will look like a lot like sausage gravy, because I'm probably using sausage that's in my head. But oh my goodness, it's delicious. So I've got a 1/4 cup of flour. So I'm going to sprinkle this flour over this cooked pork, and I'm going to do a little bit at a time, and I want to stir it in well. And I want to stir it in well so I don't have any clumps in my gravy. And I also don't want a burst of flour taste when we bite down. So you don't want to brown your flour. You just want to really coat this sausage or whatever meat you're cooking. You want to coat it and get it combined really well. Okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and do the other half. Get that out of the way. So you just want to not leave your burner. You want to stay here and stir whatever meat you have with this flour. So the recipe is 1 pound of meat of choice. Sausage, hamburger, chicken, tuna, beef tips. I've never had corned beef, and I don't know that I would like it. Okay, and then 1/4 cup flour and 2 cups of milk, and that is it. And I'm telling you guys, if you haven't eaten this, you are missing out. And a lot of you maybe had it in your childhood and remember it now, but maybe didn't know how to make it. All right, the milk's cold, so I'm going to turn my pan up a little bit because I want this milk to warm quickly for you. I'm going to pour about half of this milk in. I love the the silicone prep bowls. They're flexible and lightweight, easy to pour, and they have measure marks on them, so I know where I'm at in my pouring. All right, now you don't want to leave your pan here either. You don't want to scorch your milk, and it will thicken kind of quickly. And the only reason I'm pouring half of it in right now is just to show you how quick it does want to thicken. Again, you just want to keep stirring and let it simmer. Okay, y'all see how thick that's getting already? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it back down to medium and pour the rest of my milk in. Okay, so now I'm going to cut it down a little and let it simmer. I've got some egg noodles in the microwave, and I've got some tater tots in the air fryer. So I'm going to let this simmer a little bit lower, and I'll get everything else ready. Let me let you get a good look. See that? I've cut it down so it's not really bubbling and getting as thick. I only cut it up for the first half of that milk so you could see how it is going to thicken. Okay? So I will let it simmer low and slow and get my tater tots and my pasta ready, and I will come back and plate this up and let you see it. Stay tuned. Okay, y'all, it is done, and I was scrambling to hurry up and get my tater tots out and my pasta out, and I just want to show you. You see that thick consistency? That's what you want. Now, the more milk and flour you put in, the more gravy you're going to have. But this is just perfect, the perfect ratio. From the years I have cooked it, it's just the perfect ratio. You can easily double this recipe using 2 pounds of meat, a half a cup of flour, and 4 cups of milk. But it is delicious, so I want you to make it. And again, I'm going to share above this video the history of it. I just grew up knowing it as meat gravy. Sometimes, I'm from the South, I live in North Carolina, and sometimes it's referred to as milk gravy. I guess that's because they use milk to make it. So I cooked the pasta in the 3-quart micro cooker in the microwave. It's the only way I cook my pasta and rice now. It is just my favorite. It's got a no boil over lid, and it's got little strain holes, so I can easily strain any liquid that I want to. So I'm going to put some of the pasta on the plate. I've used egg noodles. They're my husband's favorite. And again, you can serve this over whatever you want to. It's delicious on French fries. And it's delicious on tater tots. It's great in casseroles. And I'll share a lot of different ideas for you above this also. And I'll put a few tater tots here, because I'm going to have some of both. I use the stoneware in the air fryer, and if you know and love Pampered Chef's stoneware, you'll know my pan's not dirty. It is very seasoned and very loved. The stoneware is amazing for heat retention and giving you the crispiest food ever. The darker it looks, they say, the better it cooks. So I'm going to move this out of the way so I don't burn myself, because it is hot. And put some of this gravy. And again, originally in armed forces, in their cookbooks, it was served over chipped beef. And chipped beef was in a can or a jar and was very inexpensive and would feed a large crowd. So y'all look at this. Doesn't that look amazing? And it is amazing. I'm going to taste and make sure. I didn't taste before I took it out, but I got enough salt and pepper, and it's perfect. I wish every one of you could be at my house right now so you could taste this. It is delicious. So again, I will share the recipe and the military name for it. The military name is SOS, and I'll explain that in great detail for you, because I've done a lot of research on it. Where I live in Goldsboro, North Carolina, and we have an Air Force base in our town, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. So I have a lot of military friends who grew up in the military and have told me about SOS, and that their grandfathers or whoever served in the military learned of this recipe while they were in the service. And it's just been carried on all these years, and there's a reason. It's delicious. So y'all, please make this, and please tag me in a picture of it when you do make it. I just cannot wait for any of you to try it. So thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.